Hi, David from Guaranteed Girlfriend. On your journey to finding the girl of your dreams, it's really important to understand the girl's perspective and how they see the world. So I've put on this interview to give you some more insight on how a girl thinks and feels and what her opinion is on many things. So I hope you enjoy it. Girlfriend, and I've got a very special interview with Leanne Plews. And today we're going to be talking about what turns her on and off, and Leanne's opinion on guys in general, and to get some insight into how you can behave and carry yourself in a way that's going to help you get a girlfriend. Leanne is a coach for a company called Healthy Diva, where she helps women deal with getting each area of their life right with your health and your mindset so you can really live at your peak. How are you doing, Leanne?
Yeah. Hi, I'm really well, thank you. How are you, Dave?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good.
Good.
Okay,
Good.
Leanne, tell us about what turns you off. What don't you like that guys do?
One of the biggest turnoffs would be guys that are quite sleazy, so that focus on more than one woman, especially if it's being sneaky. So that's one big downfall. I think something else is trying too hard. That's a huge one as well. So being able to own yourself and feel confident in your skin and just be you. Yeah, I think they're the main ones. Yeah.
Okay, cool. And do you have any horror stories where a guy has done something, in a way that you've just decided that's not, it's a no, it's a no
It's a
go.
bit of a deal breaker.
Yeah.
Yes. So I remember I got dressed up for a date once. I met someone, can't remember where we met, but somewhere. And we were going out on our first date, and I got all dressed up because I'm excited and I love going out on dates. And they took me to a fast food chain. So that was a bit of a no-breaker as I walked into somewhere that's similar to KFC. So that was a big no-no. I don't like people being cheap. So I think for the first date, some great advice you should take on board is to spoil her on the first date. Yeah.
Okay.
And don't make her pay for her own KFC.
Okay. So, but what if he had done something more creative instead, like take you to a park?
Absolutely. So, yeah, it doesn't have to be an expensive date at all. Like dates at all don't have to be expensive. I think there's a way to budget it out to make her feel special, do something different, and yeah, I think there's lots of ways to be creative and make a woman feel special, which is ultimately what you want to do.
And so, tell me about your experience with guys approaching you in bars and pubs and stuff.
Yeah. So I think one of the biggest turnoffs is being drunk. So I understand that it gives you more confidence, but it's not a good look at all.
Or smell.
Yeah, and I think just kind of, sorry, or smell, yeah, absolutely. I think having the confidence to come up in front of friends as well is awesome, because it does show that you are a confident person, and that if they say no, then it's just not right. And that's like for you or both of you. So that's okay to get rejected, because it takes you closer to the woman that you were meant to be with. So it's important to remember that.
So
But,
you mean, sorry, just to clarify, you mean if they're confident to approach you when you're with a group of friends?
Yeah. But I think it's always important to get that initial go ahead first, which generally through eye contact or, there's always got to be some sort of connection before you can do that. But I think also the sending a drink from the other side of the bar is quite nice. But to be honest, yeah, I think it's nice. But to be honest, I've never actually recently, in the last couple of years since I've known what I'm looking for in a man, dated anyone that I've met in a bar. So I'm not sure that it's always the best place to meet someone.
Where do you think the best place to meet someone would be?
I think through, because a lot of people struggle with this, myself included actually, but I have met some nice men through mutual hobbies. So if you've got a hobby or something you enjoy doing, either a sports club or if go painting or try something random, or just an activity, something you enjoy doing, even being out in nature, going on certain walks that are quite populated. And I don't think there's anything wrong with like singles events as well, because everyone's there for a reason, and it's that can be quite helpful as well.
Cool. And so what are you looking for in a man, Leanne?
Someone that is confident in themselves, someone that kind of owns themselves, so they're not affected if a woman says no to them, and they're not affected by other people's opinions, and they're just comfortable with who they are. Someone that dresses well. I think it's nice to dress well. So it doesn't mean that you have to be trendy and have all the latest whatever. It just means that you dress well for your body type and for you. It's always nice to smell nice. Yeah, that's a big one. I think even if you are super unattractive but you smell amazing, you'll get a woman's attention. Just saying. But yeah, I think appearance is a big thing. Being loyal, so someone that only has their eyes on you, I think is a huge thing. Just fun. Someone funny. Yeah.
So what would your advice be for the single guys trying to get a girlfriend?
Would be to be yourself and just to really, love yourself, because you can't really love anyone else if you don't love yourself. And that shows, people can notice that, and that's where your confidence comes from. So that's huge. I think just be confident, look after yourself, and if you do find a really nice lady, treat her really well. Just be really kind, and pay on the first couple of dates. It's always a nice one. Then after that, you can kind of level it out. But and do random things, like be spontaneous and be fun and make her laugh and make her feel special.
Are you saying also about not treating her too much and giving her some space?
Yeah.
So there's a balance, isn't there? Like you have to be careful with finding the balance.
Absolutely. So you don't want to come across as needy, because that's not attractive. But you also don't want to come across as arrogant, so being too confident. But there is a balance there that you need to find. But it's different for every female as well. So I think one of the biggest things is kind of testing the waters and seeing where she's at with how much communication you're giving her and how much you're contacting her. And to begin with, there's a phase where you're obsessed with each other and you can't keep your hands off each other, and that's amazing and awesome. But I think there's also, you have to be mindful of not giving it your all, because then you do seem a bit needy. And if you want it to be a long-term thing, then you've got to have a balance. And I've actually drawn a little diagram here, so I'm super glad you asked me that, Dave, because I think it's really important to remember to keep your own life, because a lot of couples get together and they merge into one big unhelpful blob that don't do anything together. So they just sit and watch TV together and don't see their friends, and they end up spending too much time together, and they start arguing and they become unhappy and they just break up. And that's horrible. It doesn't need to be that way. So in my little diagram, what I think is really important is to have your space. So this is your circle, then her circle, but then in the middle you meet and you have this gorgeous time that you spend together, and it's about the quality of time that you spend together, not the quantity of time you spend together. So if you spend that time being just looking after each other and having an amazing time, then you don't need to spend all of your life in someone's pocket. So I think it's important to have that balance for both of your, sanity, and to have a healthy life together.
Yeah. Well, thanks for that insight. It's quite interesting, isn't it? Because there seems to be this big disconnect with society where, we have you know, very awesome girls on one side that are single, and very awesome guys on the other side that are also single,
Mm.
and both trying to
Mm.
figure out how the hell they can be in a relationship.
Yeah. And I think that with a lot of single people, the thing is that, because I've noticed how a lot of my girlfriends will meet someone and they're all of a sudden in a relationship, and it mind boggles me. And I think the thing is with a lot of single people is that we're quite picky, which I think is an amazing thing because we have standards and we know what we want. So I think that I think it's a beautiful, wonderful thing to be single. And I think, when you find that right person, then you will know. And a lot of the rules and whatever you've heard and will go out of the window because you will connect with them as a person, and you know when you do because you just instantly have that rapport and that, that spark, I guess. So, and from there you'll just figure it out, and I think it will flow naturally. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm a coach, and the
Mm.
the main problems that I have with my guys, well, the main issues are the energy that they project because of the past
Mm.
experiences. So the relationships with their mothers and their fathers, for example, or the relationship with their ex-girlfriend. Because if we don't actually deal with this emotion, we harbor it. And when we're
Mm-hmm.
harboring this emotion, this is what we end up projecting to the people that are
Yeah.
around us. So for a lot of the cases, it's more of not knowing what they're doing wrong, not actually realizing why the girl doesn't like them, because you're just it's like the energy is you're not connecting the energy because of the place that you're actually coming from is negative.
Mm.
And the other thing is mindset. So it's actually not believing that they are good enough to be with a beautiful, intelligent girl. Because, and this is what's interesting, it's like society, it's like the images that society put into our mind on basically giving more beautiful women a higher status, which, well, it's a society based on status, and the more
Mm.
beautiful, which beauty is very subjective as well. Well, it's completely
Yeah.
subjective, but it's and then this idea that a more beautiful woman has more value then creates even more anxiety for the guy to actually even approach her because he thinks he's not good enough. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think that beauty is very subjective. I totally agree with that. And I think it's important just to not even really focus on it at all. And you need to be attracted to someone, but there is no way in the world anyone's not worthy of anyone's attention or time or love. I mean, I think it's really important to just be who you are, and whether that person's attractive or unattractive, hopefully attractive to you, then it's just a beautiful thing. I mean, love is something that comes from within. It's not something that's from without. So if you have that initial attraction, then you can grow together. And yeah, I wouldn't say don't approach a beautiful woman. I do it. If you're attracted to her, do it. Yeah. And the interesting thing is, I have some of the most beautiful girlfriends in the world, and some of them are the most lonely as well. And it's because they stand in the bar or wherever you're going to meet them, and guys are too afraid to approach her. So she's, alone. So I
Yeah,
don't think that, I don't think that, I think you should go for it. And I find it really interesting how you just mentioned about what you're projecting out into the world in relation to getting a partner. If you don't have that good energy, then someone's not going to be attracted to you. So it is about the energy that you are projecting rather than total appearance. Because if I'm out and I see someone that has a good vibe about them, and it's not tangible, but you can just feel it, you can sense when someone has a good vibe, I'm totally more likely to go up and, want to have a chat with that person than
throw your hands
with
in.
someone who's sorry?
throw your hands in.
Yeah. Then with someone that's super good looking, but stiff and not, you know, doesn't have any personality or character to him. So it's all about what you project. And we have this paradigm of the world. So our filters are on. So I think that once you're able to lift that filter off, or at least be aware of it, then I think you'll find exactly what you're looking for.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And what do you think about working with a coach to help solve this problem and help coach you through?
Super, super important, Dave, because, and not just saying this because you are a coach, but I find that even as a health coach myself, the difference that I see in women's lives is just incredible. From my point of view, it's beautiful and amazing and it's wonderful. But from their point of view, they've changed their lives. I mean, their whole life has changed. And so in a sense of relationships, if that's something you're looking for, then you need to learn how to love yourself first. You need to learn to deal with things that have happened in the past and reframe the way that you look at them and be the best version of yourself to attract the best version of a woman that you're after. And to know what you're after as well is huge. So without the exact steps on how to get there, it can be very difficult. So that's what coaches are there for, just to get you there.
Yeah, it's good to have a coach to start loving you first, to help you start loving yourself.
So important. And it's a thing that a lot of people don't know how to do. Yeah. And I think loving yourself is the first part of everything, like not only health or not only business, not only whatever you want to do in life. If you don't wake up in the morning and be like, yeah, I fucking love you, mate, then like, what have you got?
What have you got?
What have you got? And that's when you become needy. You become a person that's, you know, reliant on other people to feel good. And you don't want to be that person. You don't want to be that guy, Dave.
So do you have any last tips for the single guys out there?
Last tips would be patient, be positive. She's out there. There's someone out there for everyone. And in the meantime, just work on being the best version of yourself. And then what I find really exciting is being in the frame of mind that, you know, in about 10 minutes when I go out and eat some delicious sushi, I could meet the man of my dreams. And that's exactly how you should view it, because you could meet her at any second. And that's so exciting. So, you know, you want to be the best version of you because she could be around the corner right now. And do you want, you know, her to meet you when you're in your tracheodax and all hairy and not, you know, not feeling very good? She wants to meet you being amazing. So be that every day.
Awesome. Well, thanks a lot for your time and your insight, Leanne. It's very great.
You are very welcome. I hope it's helpful.
Cheers. Bye for now.
Okay. See you later.